welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. This is Destiny, and I have an exciting video to make for you today. It is August 23rd here, and this marks the 1-year anniversary of when I started vlogging. So I started in August of 2017, and today is August 23rd of 2018. To commemorate the day, I want to give you the real, honest truth about how and why I started vlogging and what my first year was like. So we'll see if this little girl lets me do that with her in my lap. She's about ready to go down for a nap, but the other one is sleeping, so it's kind of my window of it's now or never time. So she's gonna stick around with us and hopefully stay happy, right? Are you gonna stay happy? Yeah. A long time ago, when I had started having kids, when I quit working as a nurse, I always had something that I was doing. When Judah was born, I was doing daycare in my home. I was teaching piano and violin lessons. After a little while, I started doing medical transcriptioning from home and quit the daycare part. And then I did, I was cleaning houses at some point. So I always had different things going on until about Tori was born, who was my 5th. Sometime around then, I was just overwhelmed. It was a lot. But the last couple of years, I have missed that, just having something that I was doing. My husband and I pastor a church, and I am pretty involved in that. But I also wanted something just outside of ministry and kind of my own creative outlet, I guess I could say. And so I had been thinking about it for a long time. I felt like I had something to say. I tried writing a blog, and let me tell you, I erased everything I ever wrote. I would read back over it, and I'd be like, that's dumb, and then I'd erase it. And so I was no good at that. But I just kept feeling like I had something to say. I enjoyed watching vlogs, but I didn't really think I could be a vlogger because I was not good with cameras at all. Like, terrible taking pictures, bringing out the camera for anything. I'm just not very good at cameras altogether, and I don't like being on camera. I didn't for sure then. And so it didn't really stick out to me as something that could be for me, but I really enjoyed watching vlogs. And so the more I would pray about, Lord, what do you want for me to do? I kept feeling like he was telling me to vlog, and I'm like, it just sounded crazy to me. It sounded really crazy to me. But I did try a couple years ago, several years ago. You can still see on my channel, way back, I tried a few different videos. It was really awkward and uncomfortable, but I left them up, and they were what they were. And so I had a couple comments on there like, oh, I hope you make more videos. I learned something from this. So that was encouraging. But yet I was like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think that I could do this. So fast forward a little bit, I started talking about it more and more because I just felt like, okay, I can't get away from the idea that I should be vlogging. Like, seriously, I would truly pray about it and felt like the Lord showed me that I should try this. I should do this. And I mentioned it to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Sam, you know, and Josephine, you don't know. She has not visited since we've been doing our vlog, but she was visiting one time, and I was telling them about it, and my sister-in-law was so encouraging. Actually, both of them were. They're like, that is something you should do. Like, you would be good at that. You need to do that. And I remembered it very clearly. It was really encouraging to me, but I was still scared out of my mind about the idea of it. But I decided, okay, maybe I just need to move forward. I know that the Lord's telling me to do this, and Solo was very encouraging about it too. And so I decided, okay, I could at least give it a try and just see, you know, what's the harm in that. And so for Christmas that next year, I asked for a camera, and I asked for a GoPro. And so I got one. Solo got me a GoPro. He was all encouraging me to do this. And my dad gave me his old MacBook computer, which I really would have needed to edit anyway. And so 2017 was my year. Like, I'm going to do this before the year's over. I'm going to start. And I procrastinated and procrastinated and procrastinated. I had hope in March of that year, and then I kept procrastinating because, of course, it's at the end of a pregnancy. I can't do it now. And then I had a newborn. I can't do it now. And I remember finding out, I think it was August 19th of that year that we were expecting. And it was really, we were expecting another baby. It was really shocking to us. Way earlier than we've ever had a baby before, when we had another baby around. And I was just like, I don't know, a few days later, we were driving out to our friend's house. Just a couple days later, and I told Solo, you know what, I need to do that vlog, because if I don't do it now, I will never do it, because I have a million excuses not to do it, and I just need to do it. I made a commitment to do it this year. If I can get through that nausea stage, keeping up a vlog, then I know I could totally be a vlogger. I had been thinking a lot, of course, about what kind of vlog I wanted, if we wanted the kids involved or not, and so we just decided, okay, we're gonna have the kids involved in some of them, vlog style, and others will just be more sit down. So I can try both ways and see kind of what works, and I told them I'm gonna start tomorrow. It was a Sunday, and so it was the 20th, and I decided to start the next day because it was the eclipse. I thought, well, that would give me something to do because I don't know how to do like a vlog in my house. What would I make it about? But that gave me like a subject. So I'm gonna start tomorrow, right? So I did it the next day, and then I took that was a Monday. I took Tuesday to edit it, and Wednesday, the 23rd of August, I posted my first vlog. Now let me tell you, you can still see that vlog. It is horrible. It's not good at all, I don't think. But I will never take it down, because one of the things that gave me courage when I was just in that year of 2017 when I was preparing is I went, oh, I'm sorry, she's competing with me, but she's cute, right? You're cute, you're just loud. But I would go back and I would watch the first videos of some vloggers that I felt like did a really good job with their vlogs. I went back and I just watched their first videos, and guess what? They were horrible. I was like, I can't believe they're this bad, actually. And it gave me so much courage. Like, if they can start where they started and become that good at their craft, you know, then I can start where I am starting, where I am right now, and knowing that I will get better. And it was probably a pride issue I was dealing with. Like, I didn't want to put out something that's not awesome, you know. And I knew it wouldn't be awesome, and it wasn't awesome. But I had to start somewhere. I was so helped by those earlier vlogs in other families that I watched that I will never take down my earlier ones, because if it can encourage somebody else, that you can just start where you're at, then I want it to be an encouragement to someone else too. So I will link that in the description box below if you want to check that out. I cannot watch it. All right, quieted the baby. How many videos do I have where I'm nursing a baby? Seriously, this is the only way I get things done. Okay, so the first day that I vlogged, it was so awkward. I tell you, holding that camera, I had that little GoPro, which is, by the way, what I'm still using today. I love that GoPro. I love it. Once in a while I have to do a clip on my cell phone, and I have an iPhone. It's a good iPhone, but it's not nearly as good as my GoPro. I love it, and I had to get used to the fact that it didn't have, I think the new GoPros have the screen where you can see yourself. The word is just out of my head right now. Mine does not. I can't even see myself in what I'm recording, and that has been evident a few times over this last year. Like, I'll have a foggy screen and not realize it, or we won't be quite like someone's head will be cut off or something like that. But overall, I've loved it. So I had this camera in my face, and it's like having a really awkward stranger at your house that you're not comfortable with at all, but you know you need to talk to. That is exactly what my first day of vlogging was like. It was so awkward. It was so awkward. So it took us some time. At first, I didn't let Solo or the kids tell anybody what we were doing. It was maybe close to 6 weeks before we even told people that we were vlogging, but I was putting up 5 vlogs a week, and I was just putting them out there. I was making it public, but I did not tell people. When I started on August 14th, I had 14 subscribers, and most of them were family. And yeah, so that's where I was at, and I did not want anybody to know. I thought, I'll put them out there, but let me use this time to just get my feet under myself and figure it out. So there were 2 really big reasons that I procrastinated on starting my vlog. Just besides the fact that I was uncomfortable with the camera, I was really nervous about the amount of work it would take, because I knew when I started, I wanted to make a commitment for a year, and I wanted to do 5 videos a week. I did a lot of studying about vlogging before I started, and I felt like to be very consistent and predictable helps a vlog a lot. If I'm gonna give it the year, I'm gonna give it all. I was nervous about how I would fit in that work of filming and then editing as well. I was also very nervous about comments. Like, if people started seeing my vlog, I've watched other vloggers and I've read comments, and I know that people can be very negative and cruel, and I didn't know how I would handle that. So those were probably, besides my camera shyness, those were probably my 2 biggest hangups about starting. Here I am, I've started, I'm doing it, and let me tell you, it was work. It was work, and I was surprised at how how draining it was, especially when I was awkward with the camera. It was very draining. Like, it felt like, oh, I gotta pull this camera out again. And I gotta talk to it again. And it felt very draining. Every 3 weeks I was done. I was ready to quit, only from the work of it itself. And I was on a huge learning curve, so that was probably made it a little more exhausting. I was learning how to use my camera. Like my first videos, everything is concave, and I finally figured out how to change that in a setting of my camera. Like, Google was my best friend. Everything I didn't know about uploading to YouTube or editing. By the way, I just use iMovie, nothing fancy. But I had to learn a lot over the next few months. I think it would probably be evident in our vlogs, but we got more and more comfortable with the camera. I think me and a couple of the kids got comfortable the quickest, because I was doing the bulk of it. Solo probably took one of the longest, and Luka. Luka first, he actually didn't even want to be in the vlog after a few months. When people started actually watching, it kind of freaked him out, and so there are some at the end of the year where he wasn't even in them hardly at all. And then Solo also took a while, I think, because he wasn't in it as often. It took him a while to get more comfortable with the camera. But you can see, like, it was a journey. It took a little while, but we are all comfortable with the camera now. Actually, Luka kind of loves it. And Solo doesn't mind it at all either now. So we've definitely grown in that area, but that took time. By the beginning of December, I think I had 100 subscribers, and they were probably, a lot of them were family and friends, because we started telling people around month 2 somewhere that we were doing a vlog, and little by little they would share it with people. By the beginning of December, it was 100. I went from 14 to 100, and I was just shocked. I thought that was a lot of people. I couldn't believe that many people had subscribed. Now, not that many people were even watching, but that's normal, I think. And I was just amazed that many people would click the subscribe button. And then things got crazy, because by the end of January, probably about 7 weeks later, I hit 1,000, and that was just crazy to me. I promise you, I thought for the whole first year there's no way I would hit 1,000 by August 23rd, 2018. I did not think I would get anywhere near it, for sure. 3 weeks later we hit 10,000, so obviously it exploded. It's just been a wild ride. It's been really unbelievable, really unbelievable. I kept thinking it would stop or drop off, or people would realize, oh, who are these guys? They don't know what they're doing, and just unsubscribe. I mean, okay, I might be a little pessimistic sometimes, but it was crazy. So when I first started making videos, because the camera was so uncomfortable to me, I would always think about my sister-in-law, Nya, or Josephine is her name, and so I would make the videos for her, and that really helped me get comfortable with the camera a lot quicker. So when I'm talking to the camera, I'm thinking about her. She's on the other side of the world, and come on, burp, baby. And she wants to know what's going on in her life and keep up with us. So it was really natural for me to talk to her. It felt a lot more natural talking to the camera, and yeah, that's what worked for me. But as our subscribers grew, of course, the comment section grew a lot. And like, even when it was 1,000, even when it was in the several hundreds, it was hard for me to comprehend that many people were watching our vlog. Today, my videos can easily reach 10,000 views. I can't think about 10,000 people watching that video. Like, there's just no place in my brain for that to go. But I noticed over time, I started making videos, and now Josephine still watches all our videos. She's our #1 fan. Hi, yeah. And I love making videos for her. But I also make them for the commenters. That's what I realized, is that when I'm making the videos, I'm thinking about those people that comment. And to me, that's who I'm making the video for. It's just what happens in my head. It's not on purpose or anything, but I realize that's who I'm talking to, is those people I've gotten to know in the comments. That's just how it works in my brain when it is huge numbers that I can't really comprehend. So I had this unbelievable growth, but YouTube around December, January, whatever, I think it really started end of November, they started making all these changes. There were some things that happened, and they were changing how videos were monetized or who was monetized. They made changes. It used to be when you had 100 subscribers, you could monetize your vlogs, and right about then, or right in January rather, it changed to 1,000. In January, when it hit 1,000, I went ahead and applied, but because of all the changes at YouTube, they were not using their regular system to approve channels. Instead, they were doing them manually, is my understanding, and so we were put on hold. So we grew and we grew and we grew, and I think it was not till we had 40,000 subscribers, which you only have to have 1,000, remember, before we were actually monetized. It may have been in the 30s, but it was right around the time that Destiny was born. That's all I remember. It was the end of April before we were actually monetized, and that was a little bit frustrating season because we were getting a lot of views. If you don't know anything about YouTube monetization, when they put commercials on, the advertisers pay YouTube, and then you split the commission from the advertisers if people like watch the whole video or whatever. And so when you have a lot of views, you have the chance to make more money on the video. In a way, we were getting a lot of views, which would have it would have equaled some cash, you know? So that was frustrating. But in another way, I truly thought it would be years before we had anything that looked like actually monetization. I thought that it would take a long time as a vlogger before I had any traction. I was just giving it this first year just to give it my all. I had no idea it would like actually grow. I really didn't. And so when I would get frustrated some days, like, oh, look at all these views we're getting, and it would be nice if we could just be monetized, because I was working hard. At the same time, then I would remind myself, you know, I didn't expect to make anything this first year anyway. So I'm just going to be patient. The Lord knows. He gave me this, and he knew what time it would take. And we really were given we were told like 1 month, and then that wouldn't happen. And then they'd send an email and say this next month, and then that wouldn't happen. So it was kind of annoying in that aspect, but yeah, I just had peace about it because I knew, okay, it will happen in the right timing. I'm just going to keep doing what I know the commitment I made to do. And so that's what happened there. And we would have people write us like, hey, you should monetize your videos. You're getting a lot of views. And we're like, oh, we've tried. So that was an interesting season. With growth came a lot of work. And that was something that maybe I didn't expect. The comment section actually was a whole nother chunk of time that I didn't expect. And I love comments. It's what, like I said, I make the videos for commenters. I feel like I connect with people through the comments. But it actually became hours and hours of my work week, just answering comments and getting back to comments. And so, not to complain, I really do love the comments, but that was something I didn't expect. And then also getting emails. I was getting tons of emails from brands, and Solo really helps me with that part of this whole thing, because it was a lot. Like, I didn't realize that as it grows, it's going to take a lot more of my time, because it becomes more than just the filming and the editing. And so that was interesting, the work thing. And remember, it was one of the things I was worried about when I started. And here I am, like, in a pregnancy and then having a baby, and I've got a lot of work week on my schedule that I did not have before. And I'm still homeschooling and trying to maintain a house and all these things. So that has been interesting for sure. And then the comments. Well, as it grew, as you can imagine, the comment sections grew too, and they're always, with every YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure, ever, there's a section of comments, a small, very small percentage that are not nice comments. And so that started happening when it grew really from 100 to 1,000. I had a little bit. When it grew from 1,000 to 10,000, that's when I started seeing them. I'm like, oh, that's what this is. That's what this is like. And I was surprised that actually most of the time the comments didn't bother me. There's different levels of negative comments. There's really horrible ones. Those don't bother me at all. I just delete them. It's never been a question in my mind. I wouldn't want my kids to see them. I wouldn't want you guys that are lovely people to see them. And they're just horrible, nasty comments. Yeah, so those go, no big deal. Then there's this whole middle layer that was the part that was confusing to me. I struggled with, what do you do with just the critical comments, the ones that are just critical, and some of them just have kind of mean undertones, but they're not overtly nasty. And there was all of these. So we had to really walk through, like, do we delete this one? Do we not delete this one? Solo was my sounding board for sure. And then I heard a podcast too, and I think this helped me probably more than anything else throughout the last number of months is, it was Angela, I think Brandiff is her last name. I could be saying that wrong. I know her as This Gathered Nest, and you probably have heard of her too, maybe. But she did a podcast with somebody, and I listened to it, and it was about being a vlogger. And she talked about how if she wouldn't let somebody say that to her in her own living room, then she's not going to allow them to say that on her vlog or in her comment space because it's her space. So yeah, you can have some criticism, no problem. I can handle that, but when it's mean or it's undercutting, it's like against my kids, whatever. That mental picture of just whether they could say it in my house or not helped me so much to just know, like, okay, that one goes, that one stays, that one goes, that one stays. Because I do want my space to be positive, and I don't mind people telling me what their thoughts are or what they think differently at all. But obviously, some of them just needed to go. And that helped me clearly define it in my own mind because it is our space that we're putting out there. And so we do get to control what is in it. And so I appreciate that, and I'm glad about that, but I just needed some boundaries and guidelines. The negative comments are such a small percentage. The positive comments far outweigh it, but yet sometimes in your mind it can stick out more, and that's just life. I think even when you're going about life, the negative things that happen can seem much bigger than they really are, and so it's constantly a matter of putting it back into perspective. Like, you know, that was just a very small percentage. I have to remind myself, okay, I had all these good ones. I don't need to worry about that one. And then I can usually move on really quick. If I was letting it bother me or somehow taking it personally a little bit, I just remind myself of all of these wonderful comments that I just read and how amazing they are. And also, you know, I had a baby in this season, so there were a couple times where I was pretty emotional, and I was not like in the space where I really wanted to be criticized a lot for my parenting. There were a couple, maybe just a few days in a couple different months that I had that, and Solo would just go into the comments for me, and he would delete the bad ones before I would even read them, so I wouldn't have to read them. And that was a huge blessing for me, because sometimes you just don't need to hear the nasty. You just don't. Okay, I got baby to sleep over here. Like I said, I went into this year like I'm going to give it my all and just do my part, and then I'll decide at the end of the year whether I want to continue, whether we still want our kids involved, if that's something that's worked out well, if we want to be vloggers, or we just want to walk away from it altogether. But we're going to give it our best for a full year, 5 videos a week, as much as we can, and just see what happens. And I tell you, one good thing is that I have never had babies this close together, like I said, and I think this last year would have been a total blur in my mind, but now I have photo evidence, video evidence of the whole year, so that's pretty cool, because I might not remember much. It's been busy. It's been busy. I personally don't like watching my vlogs back, but my kids do. They love it, and Solo loves it too. So almost every week this last year, I've done 5 videos a week. After the baby came, it was definitely closer to 4 most of the time. I got 5 in some weeks. And I think there were only 2 weeks this whole last year that I only did 3 videos. So I really kept to my commitment, and it hasn't been easy. It's been fun. I found out I really love editing. Who knew? I did not know. But I really do like the editing part. Juggling the time, so I went through all the nausea phase. I kept it up, and some days were off. There's days I had Belle vlogging, and she didn't know what she was doing either because it was so horrible. But we kept it up, and I went through the holidays. I went through the end of a pregnancy. I went through having a baby, and I still kept it up, all those videos. And I went through vacation. It was crazy. I think that it got a lot harder after Destiny was born. She is fussy. I've had some babies like this where they're a lot fussier in the evenings, and she's definitely one of them, and she doesn't necessarily like Solo in the evenings. She just wants me. She wants to nurse all evening, and evenings is often the only time I have to edit videos. And so I've tried to like maybe take a whole Saturday morning. I've tried different things with my schedule, and I'm still trying. I've gotten down to more like 4 videos a week since she's been born, just for survival. because it just can't. Some nights I just gotta sleep. I've woken up some days at 7, many days where I wake up at 7, I hit the ground running, I'm homeschooling, doing all these things, taking care of babies, keeping them all alive, you know, the whole drill, getting to the end of the day nursing her and not being able to really focus on the video, the editing until maybe 9 o'clock and going to bed at midnight. So I'm like working from 7 a.m. to midnight, sleeping and still waking up at least once in the night to feed her. And so those have been the hard days for sure since she was born. But we've gotten to the end of the year. And I can definitely say that we've decided that we like it. We like it a lot. Even this last couple of weeks, I haven't been vlogging as much just because I felt a little run down. I've been a little tired, and the kids have missed it. They're like, can we vlog this? We should be vlogging this. This is cool. And they talk about it, and they miss it, and they actually like it a lot. So I think it's been good for us. We're actually going to keep things pretty much the same around here. In the end, we're going to keep the kids involved. We love the memories that we're making. That's been awesome. And since we've gotten monetized, it's been such a blessing to our family too to have some extra income. So that has all been great. Like I said, I've been a little run down and tired, and I'm still trying to figure out my schedule and how I'm juggling it all. And some things they have to change. And since I am making a little money, I've thought a lot about like what thing could I hire out, because I can't do it all. I'm just not capable. I'm one person, you know, and I am not Superwoman. I've thought a lot about hiring someone to help me keep the house clean. We like to clean all together on Saturdays usually, but it's just not happening. I'm spending a lot of time on my vlog, and the kids, you know, they're kids. So they help clean, but they need a lot of follow-up. And so just to take that off my plate, my mother-in-law's been helping me a little just to see if that really helps. Before I go hire somebody, and it has been helping a lot just this last couple of weeks. It is so relieving to me. So I think I'm starting to figure out a way to keep this vlog in my life and yet keep some time that I have for myself for downtime. I am a person that needs, don't we all? We need downtime, and I need downtime every day, like at least half an hour to an hour at the end of my day where I can just do nothing, read a book, watch TV. Like I just need to zone out for a little bit, and I need that in my days. So I'm trying to figure out how to work things around so I can keep that in. It may look a little more like 4 videos a week than 5. I like the 4. It seems a little more manageable to me, and so between that and maybe getting some help with cleaning around here, it's either that or the vlog goes. and I don't want the vlog to go at this point. So that's what we're looking at, and I am going to take a little break right now. I have a video coming at you in a couple days, or maybe today. I don't know, my computer is not working. Just today my charger stopped working, so I probably am not going to get this video uploaded today. But if I do get it working on Saturday, I should have a video for you of what we ate this week. And Judah has something very special that he's making for you. I have been wanting him to make this video for the whole last year, and he has finally agreed to do it. I'm so excited about it, and I actually told him that any money that video brings in is all his. And so guys, this whole year I have never asked you to like our videos or share our videos or anything like that. But for this one video that Judah's doing, I'm going to ask you, if you want, watch the whole ad and like it. Maybe share with a friend if you like it, because this one is all on him. He's editing it. He's the creative. He's the editor, and he's going to benefit from it. And then I will have a grocery haul. Well, that nap didn't last. I will have a grocery haul coming up for you too, because I gotta buy the groceries anyway, and I enjoy making those. But other than that, I'm going to take a little break. I won't tell you how long, just in case the number I have in my mind of days is not quite enough. I just want that flexibility. I need to just recoup. You know, when I take a break and go away with my husband, away from my kids, it makes me a lot better mother. When we go away from the church for a little bit and go on vacation, it makes us better pastors. And so I'm convinced if I take a little break from the vlog, it's also going to make me a better vlogger. Guys, we appreciate so much all of your support, your amazing comments this last year. It has been such a fun and wild ride, so unexpected. And to each one of you who have watched a video, who have liked it, who have commented, who've subscribed, who've shared it with somebody else, we thank you so, so much. It's been really fun getting to know you. Those of you that like to comment, you know who you are. And thank you guys just so much for this last year. We will see you soon. Bye.